In 2014, I shot a video that I entitled Training the Deadlift. And what I meant by that was training the conventional deadlift. And that became part of a larger video that I named after my book, Effective Weight Training. And that video included the bench press, the squat, and the deadlift. Now, I've never used this video as a standalone, and I thought since there's been so many questions regarding the deadlift that I would now present this as a standalone video, Training the Deadlift. Two different deadlift stances that are used these days. The first one is the conventional or narrow stance deadlift. And then there's the sumo or wide stance deadlift. Now the sumo deadlift uses basically the adductor longus muscle on the inside of the legs, whereas the conventional deadlift uses the entire posterior chain, which would include all the back muscles, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Now again, when you attack the bar, you want to have about 1.5 inches between the bar and your shins, so that when you go down to grab the bar, your shins are actually touching the bar and not pushing the bar out. Now, use an alternating grip, and some people are right-handed, some people are left-handed, so you have to experiment with that. One will feel right, one won't. When you grip in a conventional stance, you grip right on the edge of the knurling. This section here is not knurled. The knurling begins here and goes out all the way to the end of the bar. You want to have your arms straight up and down to make the distance you travel a minimum. The farther out you go, the farther you have to pull. And you invite injury. That supinated palm up arm, that's how you tear that bicep. Also, when you pull, you want to have your arms to be just hooks. Your hands are just hooks. If you try to help with your deadlift by curling, you will tear that bicep on heavy weight. So, to begin, we're going to go down just far enough to grab the bar. I want to stay tight. I don't want to be down here like this. I want to just go down far enough to grab the bar and start to pull up against my legs. Straighten up. Let down or go. Now, the deadlift is probably the greatest test of true body strength because it is dead weight as opposed to a bench press where you're coming down and you can bounce the weight, or the squat where you can use momentum to get the weight back up. This is dead weight off the floor. Now, when you pull your deadlifts, if you're in a conventional stance and you get in trouble, you can come back and pull your head back, and that'll pull you out of a sticking point. That's your rudder, okay? Okay, so if we break down the deadlift, the conventional deadlift that is, we start out with leg drive. Leg drive to our sticking point, speed through our sticking point to the point where the low back takes over and lock out, okay? Now, the way to develop leg drive is called overload training, and the way you do that is you get on a leg press with the same stance that you deadlift in, and you're going to use maybe 1,400 pounds for reps. That's going to develop that leg drive. Now, to develop speed, you can actually do your deadlifts very fast, or you can do high pulls very, very fast. Most people don't know this. They see me doing this as a warm-up at meets. They wonder what I'm doing. I learned this from an old timer who was in Olympic lifting powerlifting for 42 years. He died back in 1992. His name was Claude Youngman. And I used to do a memorial meet for him every year after he passed away. Now, the overload training is also going to apply to your low back. So you're going to get into a power cage rack, and you're going to set those pins right above your knees. You can't set them at your sticking point because it's just too hard on the lower back. And that's where you're in a position where you risk injury. So you want to set them above your knees. Now I'm a 580-pound deadlifter at 181 pounds of body weight. I've pulled, in this position in the power rack, I pulled 820 for a lockout. And you only do that maybe once every 2 weeks, and you do 1 rep. Okay, and you're going to use straps, wrist straps. Now another way to develop leg drive is what we call deficit deadlifts. And you're going to stand on a 45-pound plate, or preferably a 3-inch wood block. And you're going to use straps again, wrist straps, and your hands, both hands are going to be pronated. That is, going to be facing, the palms are going to be facing the body. And you're just going to pull regular deadlifts, and you're going to probably, if I'm using 500, 525 for my conventional work sets, I'm probably going to be doing these deficits with 315, maybe 365 for triples, fives, whatever, and maybe 2 or 3 sets. Okay, the reason that squats are always heavier than deadlifts is because you can get the bar in the center of gravity when you're performing a squat. When you're performing a deadlift, as you know, the center of gravity be right down, straight down through your body, center of your body. You cannot get a deadlift into the center of gravity because it's always out in front of you. Okay? So you can only do the best you can. You can train with a trap bar when you're actually standing inside the bar and you are in the center of gravity. The only thing is that that's not reality. When you're in the meet, you're going to have a bar that's outside the center of gravity. So you might as well train that way and get used to it. Okay, so what are the common mistakes that I see with people that are attempting to deadlift? Even in meets, I see this. Okay, one of the mistakes that I see is people that they're not quite sumo deadlifters, and they're definitely not conventional deadlifters. They're kind of in a modified sumo, and they can't get any leg drive. They're using all back. Okay? So you either want to be a full sumo deadlifter, where you're using the adductor longus, or a conventional deadlifter, where you're using the posterior chain. Another mistake that I see quite a bit is people going very wide with their grip. And of course, in this position, you've got to pull farther. Like I said before, you're also inviting injury to the supinated bicep. One of the mistakes that I see also is people trying to get their hips underneath heavy weight. And they'll pull up and they'll stick and they'll try to get their hips out of the way like this and try to help get that bar up. In a max attempt, you're never going to be able to pull out of that position. You're going to stick and you're going to drop it. So don't ever think that you can push your hips through and get underneath that bar. It does not work. Another mistake that I see quite often is people bending over the bar. They try to start like this and they've got their butts up in the air. You're never going to be able to pull a heavy weight with your butt up. You always want to have your butt down. And you're going to hear trainers at competitions yelling, butt down, keep your butt down. So when you start to pull, you're going to drive with your legs. A lot of guys are going to do this. You're going to start like this and go up, and then you're going to stick. So you always want to keep your head up, okay, when you start. Your head's up, and your butt's down. Okay? Now, when you train deadlift, if you train heavy singles, you're not doing yourself any good. You're not doing any work. Deadlift work sets are triples or maybe fives. Anything more than that's bodybuilding. Okay? For strength, you want to use triples or fives in your work sets. 1 or 2 work sets. Of course, you want to start out with some warm-ups. So if you're going to do a work set of 500 for 3, You're going to warm up with 135 like you see here, 2 sets of 8. Maybe 3 with 2 1/4, 1 with 315, maybe 1 with 405. Then you jump to your work set. Okay? Now, there are 2 ways to do work sets. You can do touch and goes like this. Or what we call dead stops. Now, touch and goes will teach you speed. Dead stops will make you strong. Okay, those are dead stops. So you're going to run a 8 to 12 week cycle. You're going to increase 5 pounds a week. So if I start out, say, with 500 pounds week 1, a set of 3, then I go to 505, okay? 510, 15, 25, 535, 545. My last week is a week off. I stopped at 545. I did a triple. So now I know if I do a set of 3, I can calculate that I get 10 pounds for every rep that I can add to that 545. 575, now I can go a week's rest, I gain another 25 pounds. Now I'm at 600 on my 3rd attempt. Okay, now my last work set, 2 weeks before the meet, was 545 for 3. That's where I want to open up. It's going to be an easy opener. And I want to do 600 on my 3rd attempt. So I'm probably going to do about 575 on my 2nd attempt. So your first deadlift in the meet, your first attempt, is just to get into the meet. Your 2nd attempt is to really win the meet, depending on what your competition is doing. And your 3rd attempt is usually to set a record.